live. Hey. Welcome to the
Ordinals Are Dead show, where this show and Ordinals are so dead, but not as dead as, your grandmother's art career. Because
damn.
She got run over by, it was just a holiday, she got run over by a reindeer. I love you, Grandma. Never stop drawing. Oh my God. Yeah.
And we've just begun.
Well, gosh darn it. Hey, how you doing there? So
Hey,
listen.
we're getting a hot start here.
Hot start. So welcome to the show. Boo morphed into someone else.
A different Asian.
A different Asian. And we have not only my name's Troy.
A less smarter Asian.
This is my buddy BitGod.
What's up?
This is my buddy BitGod. And this is
welcome.
There's a smart guy. Well, because he's Asian, he's smart.
What?
Does math. We saw math on the thing, so you know. And it's Star Lordy from ON1 Force,
Yes.
and we're happy to have you, man.
Yes,
Yep.
Thank you for having me. I'm
Welcome,
super
welcome.
excited to be here.
Yeah, you're traveling from the Bay Area around the world. You're jet setter.
I came from the Bay, but I came for you guys. I put literally on my calendar, BitGod with a little heart on the date today. He was like, "You're coming, right?"
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
definitely gonna be here.
When you said you came for us, I was just like, you came for us, guys.
Pause.
I got
Pause.
pause.
You guys make me
Meow.
come
I'm
all the
sorry,
time.
Oh my
guys.
gosh.
Let's clean it up here. This is a children's show.
Something's been pumping though.
All right, so
I know,
Bitcoin is fucking pumping through the roof. A little volatility, titty.
Come on,
a little
Wow.
volatility here and there. Not so much here. Not so much
All right,
there.
all
Money from the sky. And what the fuck is going on? A lot of things.
Yeah.
So let's explain it if we can.
So I mean, obviously, we went from what I think 58 or 57 to 64 overnight, and then I think from there it went down to 60, and it just circular sort of. I don't know, crazy.
I mean, Star-Lordy, what do you think? I mean, we're getting it from all sides. You got Sotheby's over here. You got R6 still pumping and confusing of what's still going on there, although some people aren't. You got some art projects, and you got some definitely derivatives going on, and you got Bitcoin puppets just crushing it. Node monks have just broached, I think, past 0.5.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not covering every project here, but I'm saying, like, dude, is everybody printing? Who's losing? Is it about that? What's going on?
It's printing season. The losers are the ETH projects with
Boom.
the low effort, cash grabby entries into the space.
Oh, damn. What's up? What's up, Art?
It's a hot show, man. It's a hot show.
Hot show
We're
today.
getting started hot. I like it.
I
like
came
it.
for you guys.
I mean, so are you basically saying ETH is testnet or ETH was testnet?
You know what? Let's keep it real. ETH is a bit of a cesspool right now because of, especially in the bear market, I think it revealed a lot of projects' shortcomings, Now, obviously, there's still amazing people out there, but I do think that what happened with ETH is like, as the industry's forming, it's like this crazy rush of euphoria with all the money and the stuff you're printing. Not a lot of building, and now they're paying the price. And I think with the Ordinals space rising, it's like a whole new, fresh start to not make the exact same mistakes.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I think that because of the constraints of this chain, you're like, okay, this is the game. This is how you play. Like a tennis court is different than a hockey ring, right? It's just set up differently. So you play that game that way. And if you love it, you're going to try to play it the best. And if you want to be a champion, that goes along the same way. But I feel like, people are a little bit smarter over here, and we're watching everybody because the ecosystem's small. It is getting bigger. But I'm just curious, do you think people are building differently? Obviously, because the chain's different. Are they not rushing? Or are they still in the same kind of thing? Like, what have you built? Is it anything physical, or is it just like alpha pump rooms with a piece of kit art that we can just hold for the next 20 years and just trade alpha? Like, what is that?
I think it's a combination of a lot of things, but I think it's right now it's lower expectations, as well as people are not like, oh, we need a metaverse and we need to do this. And I think it's like it's part of the builders that are here, but also I think too it's like a realization or sort of a questioning of, can you even do a metaverse on Bitcoin?
I mean,
you know what I mean? And so it's like the expectations are like, I don't know if you can do any of this stuff.
We're not getting into Bitmap Valley, not because I don't love it. I'm just saying, like,
not today.
No, but we're not going to shit on IMSO or Solana
never.
Chris or our buddy Rudy fucking whale that he is. I'm happy for you, Rudy. Seriously, how's your karma
Let's
doing?
go, Rudy.
No, but and so we have that early on, like that's like set it and forget it for me. Like I'm not really playing around in there, even though I am. But I just feel like there isn't a rush for like our project, Ordinals, but we work every day. It's like, what is the rush? Try to do a TV show in a year when most TV shows will die? Is it about a TV show? Like, what are you building, and are you rushing to the red light? Yeah. Or is it like, hey, dude, let's trade a little bit here. Let's get some art over here. I don't know. What are you thinking?
Well, what's the question?
I don't know, dude. Is this and this is the Ordinals Are Dead show? Let's reset the space.
So maybe a question is Charlie, like, we used to see on ETH, like, and now this is unrelated to the utility side of things. Yeah. We used to see on ETH where ETH would pump, right? The price of ETH would pump to whatever 3K plus.
Sure.
And then, of course, NFT floors would sort of be inverted, and they'd sort of revert to whatever sort of levels. But we're not seeing that on Ordinals. Like, what the hell is up with that? Like, is this just an inversion of everything we've ever seen?
Different somehow on this space.
Man.
Do you think it has to do with the technology itself, that the fact that you're inscribing on the Satoshi, so then somehow it all goes up together, like in terms of the trading psychology?
It's interesting.
I think that there's a bit of comfort, like, oh my God, like some people are here for the cash grab, and some people are here for like, holy shit, I own shit on Bitcoin, and I also have Bitcoin, and I'm about to get more Bitcoin because of this metadata that some of it I'm holding and some of it I'm trading. I mean, I'm just like,
yeah, you're just thinking out loud. But I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I think it's like people are just there's unit bias, right? So like 0.01 Bitcoin is obviously a lot more than like 0.01 ETH, right? And then you have also this fact that there's no blur yet. Right. Yes. And so it's not like everyone's just trying to crazy dump the floors. And honestly, if you want to sell, like if you have 100 pieces of a 10K collection, it's really difficult to sell. Yeah. Like,
and everybody will know you're doing it.
Exactly. But do we need, do we need blur when we had like,
no, I'm not saying we need it.
No, but when we had BRC 20 now, no, we have BRC 420. Then we had BRC 20s, and then we got runes and all those derivatives. And we're getting it like a velociraptor, like from both sides, like in all different directions. Like, and it's like you can literally fall down. Like I said this the other day, you can fall down on your phone again and mint something. And like, holy shit.
And it's up 10x or something.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to buy the ocean and the yachts in it. Not that I even want to be on a yacht, but I do like yachts. But yeah, I'm just.
What do you think, though? I want to know what you think. Like, is it blur? Is blur because we don't have a blur, we're winning?
I think it's because it's still contained and the collections are smaller, as opposed to the God, stop stuttering, dude. Because the derivatives, those can be like 10K, and those are fine. Most of them are free mints. You saw one today with the Puppet Maxi Biz. Didn't intend to shout you guys out, but I definitely did sweep.
Pay the man. I'm kidding.
Yeah, seriously. But like, I mean, that's going crazy right now. Is that because of Bitcoin Puppets, which is not a derivative? And that's a 10K collection. I mean, that's ripping like hell. So it just seems like fun, contained. And also, I think some of these projects, these newer ones that are doing derivatives and maybe close to free mints, they're marketing towards Solana MFers and ETH MFers because they know that it's going to pad. They know that they're not forcing it because they know the attention is there. Give them some whitelists, give them some more than some of the OG Bitcoin projects, and get them in there to beef it up.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. That's good for all of us.
I mean, what's quite interesting, right, I think is so far the majority of, I think this is really an anecdotal sort of statement. I don't have any data to back this up, but I think the majority of liquidity so far, I don't believe has been really Bitcoiners, right? People that have owned Bitcoin for a really long time. I think the majority of it has really been people that are, either new to Bitcoin or, have been on ETH and Sol and other sort of NFT chains for a long time, and now just getting into Ordinals because it's fairly simple to get in. But
the euphoria of the maximization of it, right? Like you would think that if you're most Bitcoiners were just hodlers because it doesn't 10x overnight, kind of thing. And then I'm thinking, well, if I'm in both Ethereum and Bitcoin, and I hold Bitcoin, I'm like, oh my God, if I buy this art and it just 10x'd, I didn't do anything to my Bitcoin except 10x'd it with an implementation of this other investment tool. that's this metadata that's on it. So I'm like, why would I hate that? Why would I want to have 10x more Bitcoin for that? Now, I bet you there's some secret, like just like in the, I don't know, I don't want to talk about the Grailers DAO, but I know there's some artists that are big time degens and they're shitcoiners. Like, good for you. Like, there's a euphoria in that. It's a gambling situation. I mean, Rotomer said it himself. Sorry, Casey.
No.
You're probably going to call me later today during the show, just like not while I'm talking. But I mean, he did it himself. You know, he said it himself. It's a gambling entertainment ecosystem.
Well, yeah, I mean, talking about a lot of Bitcoin being speculated on. We had, of course, the Party Parrot sale, right? Inscription number 2.
While we were on a space,
Yes.
talking about, I think Bless said, hey, we need a Beeple $69 million sale.
Yes.
Not even 10 minutes later, this 24 Bitcoin
24
sale
Bitcoin, huh?
Of inscription number 2, which was the third inscription, if you can imagine. There it is.
Yep. There it is. Little pair.
I look like a fucking bird.
Turkey. So we're
Birds.
They got some nice.
But yeah,
pictures over there,
what do you make of this? Who did this?
We still don't know who bought it, right? There was some guy that claimed to have purchased.
It's supposed to be a civilian, right? Somebody that wasn't into Ordinals or
I guess.
NFTs,
Yeah,
so to speak.
That's I think the rumor, but
That's the rumor.
but really no one knows.
Which is something a degen would want to plant as a
right?
rumor.
I know.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, I mean, talking about DGen, right? Is someone appended inscription number 2 to like a larger collection of like 30 different or 40 different pudgies that weren't actually officially a part of the collection. In that ripped right after the sale. Right? DGens are gonna DGen.
In an hour, it ripped from like what 0.02 to 0.24 in an hour. While we were on a space, like, so we weren't even
trading? Like, not that I would have. If I weren't on that space, I might have. You know.
Gosh. You would have aped too.
I don't know. God.
You would have.
I
You know
just
it.
aped into something 15 minutes before.
I'm here on this fucking screen.
Oh my gosh.
Not that I wanted to,
attest
but
to
I
that.
didn't.
Yeah. No. I mean, so are you buying early inscription numbers though? Or
Not
your nose was on that mic.
Oh.
For
I fall asleep because I'm older. I just
Man,
get
get
tired.
into it.
We just get tired a little bit.
Man.
No, I don't really buy lower inscriptions anymore because I bought several of them early on. I mean, I was there, inscribing or minting and stuff like that at around 2, 3, 4. I even saw the 1Ks before I could figure everything out. And then we created this Discord, and then we started like inscribing things and buying things. And then I just sort of like, now I'm just into like buying into founders and the two-way street that they create with the community. Yep. Like if the community ain't talking about their founder, something's off. You know what I mean?
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like,
because the founder is the face, and it's like a lot of trust in a project is put on the founder. So it's like, even if they have a whole team of people, it's like, for better or worse, that founder kind of is the marker for a lot of people. Is this project going to make it or not? You know?
I mean, listen. There's you said something on the space that we did about a couple.
You did something on the space that we did a couple of weeks ago.
And you were honest about something. What's up?
Oh, jeez. What's going on? I don't know. Oh, right. Am I? I will not touch it. I'm not going to sleep on it. So, no, but I like an honest founder who doesn't pretend to have it all figured out. I mean, Ray from Memeland, like that dude, 9gag, like from 9gag, he tells you, I don't know what we're doing next, but we're going to figure it out. Yeah. And he's a grown man. So do you trust him because as a grown man, or do you trust him because he has the number one meme company in the world and is building here? And from the looks of it, since we're in that ecosystem, it's been nothing
but a money printer go bird.
Pretty much.
So like I totally trust.
He's been figuring out pretty well so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude.
Damn.
Hey guys, I'm so sorry. Okay.
The base
It's taped.
Hey, all right, we got this.
Dude, there's
There's 2 other mics here.
There's 2 beautiful mics looking at me right there. Can
Listen,
we get
Troy's having a bunch of issues. It's his fault.
I
It's
can
no one
fucking
else's
yell
fault.
this fine. It's fine.
It's Troy's fault. I don't know what he did, but clearly he did.
Fine.
He
It's
did
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, back to it. And action.
Yeah, no, I mean, Star-Lord.
Take 2.
What's up?
What's up?
Actually, we'll get to some of the community stuff and leadership stuff, I think, a little bit later with of course, ON1 Force. But I wanted to see, are you also buying lower inscription numbers? Are you
I've been
thinking about
approached
it?
by quite a bit.
Okay.
I definitely, one of my biggest regrets is when I first discovered Ordinals and it was explained to me that you have to trade on spreadsheets. I was like, I just don't have the time for that.
Damn.
And
Yeah. I can see that. And if you saw 40 of your friends in that Discord and they were doing that, would you have likely have stayed in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
It's about
I was like,
relationships, right? It's about people.
Yeah, I was like, I worked. Yeah, because you do things in a group together, and you keep your own money.
Yeah.
Which is like the opposite of an MLM kind of thing. You know what I mean?
How does that relate?
I don't know, but like when early on in NFTs and stuff like that, when I would talk about this to like people out in public, I go, it's not an MLM. And I did that. I said that once, and I'm like, I never have to say that because I'm not even trying to onboard these fuckers. If they're not receptive, I don't need to talk to them. I don't need you to come over here. You'll come here when the fucking fire's hot and you can get around it and warm yourself up. But yeah, man, the founder two-way street thing is a big deal for me. So I'm buying into that a lot. I will look at some inscriptions from time to time that are lower, but I'm wondering, does it matter now what you inscribe that can be brilliant and built that has legs to last forever, so to speak, or is it something that you just get early because you would rather have that? I think it's both. Why not have both?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think it's going to be a case-by-case basis, right? I think
it certainly is. I think sometimes we talk about the stuff that's not even important, like what's the what's the CryptoPunks of BTC? It's like.
I mean, it's a valid question though, right? I mean,
I'm just like, make room for something new and let the word come up. Like, it's just not supposed to be that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like OMB is new.
Huh?
I feel like
OMB is fucking new as shit. If anything to me is like a CryptoPunks, it is that.
It's almost like punk rock punks.
It's
like Ordinals.
It's like fuck your PFP.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's
fuck your Fed.
It's counterculture-esque, but with like the best investors and some of the nicest people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's another one I regret. I should have got in. I fucked up on
you can always go shopping later. When we're we'll go shopping
but
later.
every time I thought, whatever. I was like, I'll wait till it dips again a little bit because it was like right before
Amsterdam.
BTC Amsterdam, and it was pumping, and I was like, I fucking want to FOMO, and then somebody was like, you should wait till it drops a little, and then I just didn't drop.
People always say that, right?
Well,
but let's get you some predictions, though, Lodi.
Let's go.
We obviously had inscription number 2 sell for 24 Bitcoin. What do you think inscription number 0 would go for? I'm going to say 100 Bitcoin.
For which one?
Inscription number 0, right? The skull.
You're going to do Casey like that?
No, I mean, that's my prediction.
Bing bong.
In what time period, though?
Hold on. Next year or so. Hold on.
So, sorry. Hey, Casey, I know it's Casey, I know it's you. I know it's you. Because he was just like, Chad was like, or BitGod, as you might know him. Do you even know the guy? He totally undercut you. He totally devalued you. He said your inscription number 0 is going to be like, he could go for 100 Bitcoin. I mean, maybe you're happy with that, but I don't think, okay. All right. Okay, cool. I'll tell him. You got it. Cheers.
That sounded reasonable, but now that phone call came in, I'm gonna
get a spanking.
Yeah, I know, right?
Jeez,
250.
Okay,
250.
Okay, Troy, we gotta hear your story. You're about to say like 1,000 or something.
I was 1,000 BTC.
Really? Are you serious?
If he listed that for 1,000,
oh my god!
If he listed that for 1,000 at this price, what is that? 5 billion?
I don't think so. I don't think that's a 5 billion.
You don't think it's 5 billion?
1,000 Bitcoin? I don't think so. No.
All right, maybe at 20K.
500 million,
Bitcoin at. Yeah, maybe not that much.
Jeez,
I'm doing ETH prices.
You're
Sorry,
crazy over
sorry,
there, man.
Casey. I'm thinking of Vitalik. Sorry, Casey.
Oh man.
We got to get a phone for Vitalik to call us. But Starlordy, so you say 100?
No, I said 100. I said 100. I pumped it up to 250.
What about the second inscription, Crypto Dick Butt?
No,
that's a great one. That also has a great story. I mean, a great tier. I give it up to Rindell for that one. I wanted to tell him that he's a great storyteller. It's funny as shit. Long-lasting comedy. Comedy for the rest of your life.
I'm trying to think, though, in the long term, like with serious collectors who spend a lot of money, like what is their tolerance for the degen humor? You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
I mean, here's the thing. In this, so you say that, but the 2 ETH spaces from like Leap and Thread that started were literally because of the art of Bitcoin puppets. I think that is an insider degen thing. I don't think the outside world, if the outside world saw the Bitcoin puppets, they would also laugh. But they would go, wait, how much are these? They'd probably go, why? because they don't know.
But that's everything that we're trading. Like
Yeah, no.
My parents are like, what? Like, how
I mean,
much is that?
it's
None
but
of them
but
make
whether it's a
sense.
Bitcoin puppet or whether it's
No,
a node monk,
that's
that's
a good-
that's definitely not fucking worth,
Right,
pixel
right.
art. Come on.
no, but that's a good point. But why did the Bitcoin puppets? Why is that the project that they had the space about?
Because it's the most probably memeable. It's
Exactly.
the most friendly. It's like
In
it's
the
not taking it
space,
too
in the
serious.
space, it's the most memeable thing at the time that
At the time,
traversed all
Everything.
that traversed. So that's very
Transcended everything.
That's very important, and I think, and not that it's not art, but like I think that's why art doesn't really take front seat sometimes, because not everything in art is memeable.
I mean, let's talk about some more art though.
Let's do it.
We had Sotheby's, right? We had the Sotheby's sale that's going on. I think right now. That's ending. I think sometime today.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of pizza
Ninjas
pizza
on,
ninja,
yeah, the ninjas are on there.
right?
I'm
On
not
a
sure
rare
how.
pizza set. You have uncommons. You have rares. You have black uncommons. You have I think a number of different type of sats on there. Sat names.
Yeah.
So Sotheby's is going out. Like this is now their
They
third
are
or fourth.
I have
sale.
to say I'm happy for Trevor. Trevor, you know,
Definitely. Shout out Trevor.
Trevor, dude, Trevor is with his community, man. He really talks to them. He gives a fuck about it. And me and Dave did an AMA with their Discord. He actually cares about the story of that project when they're going to do stories, and they're doing them now for ninjas. But as far as Sotheby's, I think it's going to be an exciting day to see what price that comes out of that. But the fact to have assets from your project at Sotheby's is kind of cool. Star-Lordy, I mean, ON1 Force.
Yes,
you
sir.
ever see a few of the assets from there to ever be on Sotheby's? Would you turn that down?
We were just talking about that today in the morning.
And what did you say?
I think there's an opportunity where we could do something special soon, and then wait, because especially like our first 7 inscriptions, those are at about a 440K mark. I think if we just keep waiting, and then as we launch our comics and stuff in the real world, those are probably gonna age well.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to get rid of them now, it's probably just hold until like there's mass FOMO.
Yeah, you can do like 7 different parent-child fucking collections,
yeah.
7 different universe, 7 wonders of the
sorts of
world.
cool stuff,
Oh,
yeah.
dude. Oh, dude, I already got it. I'm the CEO now.
You're good. Let me just go on vacation.
CEO,
Oni knots.
CEO-ordy. Ordy knots, baby. Odie knots, baby. We'll talk about that
Later.
Keep your notices on. Yeah. So, but is Sotheby's the marker? Is that the most attention that we're going to get from this ecosystem? Because
Christie's or Sotheby's?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No.
Yeah.
you think it's going to the institutional money is going to be going to where? Into the big
I
art or
think
to
it's-
platforms?
I think it's like I think you got to look at something like Beeple's, I guess, sale. I think like other sales. I think the art market now, I think on the Web3 side is much more established to be like, X copy could go to Gamma. X copy could probably build something on his own to sort of have a sale. Like he doesn't really need, I think, Sotheby's to take it over the next level. So I think like, people that are at that level can sort of do their own things. And then Sotheby's does take a lot. I know they take 30, 40%.
The people like that can just do what Ripcash did.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know
yeah,
what?
yeah.
But I
So-
do think, go ahead.
No, I think record sales are going to come in sort of other forms, and I'm ready for it.
And it might not just be in art. It could be. I mean,
yeah.
listen. I'm knocking.
Rare sats, right?
I'm
That's
knocking wood for music one day. But like, what kind of music sale can you have? Or it's probably not going to look like anything that any of this stuff is probably not going to look like in a year to 2 years of what we may be buying.
You've been really getting into the music stuff. I've been slacking.
I love music. I make music, man. Who doesn't love music? I'll tell you why. Because those notes that you're connected to, you may not think of it just because you like the song. They're actually vibrating with a certain part of your body. It's physics. It is physics. Listen to
Gotcha.
Terrence Howard. He talks about it a lot.
Gotcha.
Who's a genius in physics, and I studied physics as well. So it doesn't matter. It's not the Troy resume show. But yeah, I love music. But I'm wondering, I do think that some Bitcoin laser eyes are secretly buying shit. They are buying stuff because we are human beings and we keep secrets. And a lot of people are undoxed, so you can do shit and you don't have to get flack from anybody on the timeline if you have an undoxed wallet. That's my take on that. I don't know. But what do you think, Star-Lordy?
I agree. I think the Bitcoin whales are quiet. They've been around a long time. And if you compare to ETH, like a Bitcoin whale is like no joke compared to ETH. So I think there's probably people who lurk and probably saw the whole ETH stuff happen, maybe they were in or not, but now it's coming home to them, and it's like, oh, this might actually improve my portfolio, and so I feel like there's probably some people quietly.
Yeah. Like if you have like 1,000 Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
And you're just like, what's one Bitcoin to me? Like, why am I not just DJing on OMB? Why am I not just? I don't know. Like.
So I'm going to prove your point about the some Bitcoin or Bitcoin maxis or extreme whales. Yeah. I'm not going to say who this person is, but I'm onboarding them, not by force because they have interest. And this person worked at BlackRock for 10 years. Oh, nice. And this person managed the art that this person bought. But this person also works in art and wants to bring some of the physical artists that they work with to Ordinals, but not, I told her, I said her, no rush. We're going to take this easy. We're going to take a walk around the block, walk on the beach.
The queen.
So what are you recommending to BlackRock? What are you recommending to BlackRock?
I'm like, dude, I gave him like 10 wallet addresses. No, I was
Deposit.
like, BlackRock, suck this BlackRock. No, what? Hey, this is a sponsor.
Come on now, come on.
We have sponsors. No, I'm kidding.
Man.
No, I'm just, I don't talk to the guy, but I think there's handlers, like the guy with the Parrot thing. I think that was not a person that just wanted it. I think somebody handles
like
their
art dealers.
Yeah, art dealers,
okay. But no, what are you recommending? I mean, seriously, before we move to another topic, like, what are you recommending to your BlackRock friends?
That come learn the space. Besides the mechanics that I'm teaching you about how to inscribe, what that means, what the history of why we're here, this canvas that we're playing on, and get in the, I'll put you in some groups. Definitely talk to me first before you just haphazardly reach out to people. I will make intros because the person is receptive. Yeah. The person is, this is my mind. AMC equals squared, yeah.
It's too much.
B minus 1 minus B minus 2, quadratic formula.
Showing to BlackRock. That's what we want to know. Are you telling them puppets or no?
Is it BlackRock? Yeah.
Puppets or no?
Dude, puppets because
okay, thank you.
Because the obvious.
The medics.
If you can pump this thing, they're not the community. The meta here is community fucking pumps it. The puppeteer is not fucking. He's not pumping this stuff. He set it in motion, kind of like Casey set this shit in motion. Is continuing to build. There you go.
Yep,
my fucking puppets. Is that a puppet? That's a puppet. I thought it was a wizard, Udi. Udi, where's my wizard, baby? Don't let me beg for it. I'll take a shower with you, baby. Wait, what? What am I saying?
all right. Well, let's
reel it in. Reel it
back in track. So this past week as well, right? We had Fragmented Frames, which went live from Alex Quito and Nevin Johnson, right? Which is one of the first, or I believe the first, really one-of-one collections that's photography focused.
Yeah, historic photo inscription. About 100 of them at a 0.05 price.
Yes.
And it didn't sell out, but I don't think it's because it's unsuccessful. I think that it was kind of at a pricey point, and I'm wondering that some people are in a momentum of making a lot of money with all the different sectors and the Velociraptor kind of thing I was talking about, that they don't know if that, like, you're kind of trained to kind of hold art, especially something as historic like this. And I guess the question is, if something doesn't sell out, does that mean you are unsuccessful, or just unsuccessful at that sellout, and that it shouldn't do anything to your career or anything like that? Like, what do you think about that?
It definitely does give you a hit, though, because if you don't sell out, then you're signaling to your collectors and other collectors that there's not enough demand. Which is a lot of it. Psychology is like the pricing, especially Begin mentions that photography is a rough market. It is definitely a rough market.
Why so? I mean, I have my answers, but like, what?
My theory is actually because when you take a photograph, you're taking a photograph of something that exists. And there's no shade. I mean, I was a photographer. There's no shade to photographers. Like, if you compare like Da Vinci, like painting the Mona Lisa versus Da Vinci, the photographer, taking a picture of a girl named Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the level of effort and like the output is different. I think that affects in collectors' mind a lot. Like, I think also with photography, we're trying to think of it more as like record keeping as opposed to like fine art, which obviously it is, but
yeah, no, I think also too, like, it's just reality, right? You're taking a photo of something that's reality, and I think it's also interesting that you could port it over even to like PFP collections. I think some of the PFP collections that are like that look the most realistic, that look like humans, have some of the lowest floor prices, right? That are not sort of like characters, as well as like this goes further, I think, to traditional art. I think why abstract art just fetches so much more money is it's because like it's just not reality. It's like it could be almost anything but nothing at the same time. You take a photo and it's like it's just one sort of point in time that you can I don't know, it just it leaves little to the imagination, right?
Also with sales, it's always about how do they explain the narrative, and when it's abstract or something, you could make up any narrative you want, and you could be like, oh, this brush of red was from the menstrual fluid of the Virgin Mary depicted in the Leonardo da Vinci painting over here 1,000 years ago. But if it's a photograph, it's like, how many stories are you going to tell about it? It's like,
yeah. You know. Although I have to say that, you know, like, well, first of all, in photography, like if you're taking pictures of mountains, which is fine. I love mountains. I lived in the mountains. It's that mountain's not going to pay you, or an animal's not going to pay you if you're doing nature photography. But if you pay headshots, that person can pay you. But as far as like, you're not going to put headshots on the blockchain just to make money where you're not making money in the sale. But dude, I actually love the art of the fragmented, the art, I'll call it art, fragmented frames. Those guys are super nice guys. It is innovative. I don't think it's an unsuccessful non-mint out. I hope they don't close the collection at what it is. I'd say leave it open and just like trust it. You only got like 33 to go. Maybe there's more, 30 to go. And they deserve it. And inscription cost is high, so they probably factored that in, and their work and their career.
But probably because we're coming out of a bear, everybody's trying to use their liquidity on things that are going to level up for them. And so fine art, and especially photography fine art, it's like if you price it too high from the beginning, there's not much room to grow. So now you're asking them to park money that has to stay like really long term. Yeah. And I don't know if people are ready for that right now.
And Star-Lord, and there's a lot going on right now. Namely, a lot of people are trying to factor in what's going to happen with the orange eyes.
Correct.
Like, what's the price going to be?
The market's still tiny. So the liquidity is coming in, but people are, I think they all have their own agendas on how they want to spend their money. So I think fine art photography is just difficult to sell for that.
Did we hear something about the OMB thing? There was some kind of front running going on. Is that something that we want to talk about or not?
Front running on what?
Remember the,
oh no! So obviously more recently, the OMB orange eyes were during the Super Bowl were inscribed, right? And those were at least at that point the oldest ever sats to be inscribed on. But this new, I shouldn't say new, but this existing collection that I believe added to their collection called the OG Satoshis.
Yeah.
Just inscribed on the oldest sats.
The actual.
So they sort of,
now.
I guess, front them as well. You know, they're now the oldest.
So OG Satoshis?
Yes, OG Satoshis.
The ones that are coming out. They already have some. Oh, great! Got whitelists for those. I'm sorry. Did I just say that? I just coughed. I have a hairball, and it sounded like the word. It sounded like.
How many whitelists do you have? I mean, exactly. Come on.
Sorry, OG Satoshis, but I'm not sorry.
Hand in pocket and 20 whitelists.
20 whitelists. Dude, I have a week to live. I'm like 3 times older than the whole ecosystem. Fucking back off. Let me live my life.
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, like, do you think that though, like, just in general, Web3 for photography is just very difficult, right? I think there's only been a few that have really been able to break through.
Even on ETH, man, it's tough. It's a tough. I think musicians and photographers have it the hardest.
Yes, you're right.
And they're so limited with the file size. Like, I don't know. I've been asked
also a big issue.
A bunch of times about, you know, musicians like, oh, I want to put my work. And it's like, oh man, like, what's your typical file size? And it's like 100+ megabytes.
Right.
And you're like, oh my gosh. Bro. You know, you could obviously split it up into a bunch of different and then recurse, but it's like, you know, the quality is still just not there. And so I hope that, you know, people like Violetta and others that I know have inscribed works, they do something, right? And they're able to do something. But I do think it's one of the harder.
It is. And on the Web 2, let's say the real world, which I think this is the real world for me. But the real world, like, musicians are on the bottom rung of the entertainment and like royalty space out of all the artists to me.
What do you mean by that?
Meaning, like, they get fucked the most on the bottom. Like the musicians get screwed the most. Recording artists, pennies on the the dollar on the sale. No, I'm talking about even before Spotify. I'm talking about when I was born in the 1920s. Like I'm kidding, but like like back in the 80s, 90s.
But wasn't it better then than it is now?
It's better then, but they were still on the bottom rung after actors and fucking other types of artists. You know, they were on the bottom rung.
Why is that though? I don't know, like why?
Because music companies do it that way. 90-10 split.
It was all gangsters that started the music industry.
Yeah. I mean,
interesting.
So
Well, that was an interesting aside, but no, I mean, yeah, that's I don't know. I look forward to just more great art. Alex and Nevin, they did a great job.
Oh, I hope the natural human reaction is to like something doesn't sell out, even for the. Even
That's
if you're
degen in you, though.
no,
You know what I mean?
like even if you mint something that doesn't sell out, are you going to stop minting shit? No, you just move on, and that's part of the tax that you pay, so to speak. That's par for the course. That's the nature of the beast, and that's unfortunate. And you'll get better, and you'll start trusting your instincts, right? And if you haven't trusted your instincts yet or learned patience, you're not doing this enough. You're not getting burned enough. Not that you need to get burned all day because you're an idiot, but just like. Stop clicking links, unless they're from me. No.
Unless they're whitelist from him or something.
Famous last words.
Anyways. Well, listen. Let's talk now. ON1 Force, though, right?
This
ON1 Force,
the most hyped projects, right, on Ordinals that's coming up. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having
It's
me.
amazing to have you, obviously,
Very
so far on the
excited
show.
to
But welcome.
Let's fucking settle it.
Let's go.
because this is like the most watched show right now, and you know, and you can get it out to ETH MFers and Sol MFers and BTC MFers. When did you take it over? And talk about, I like to say it like you inherited this presidency where there were some policies left over that you had to take care of first before you got to your business ideas.
That's a pretty nice way to put it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, I guess some background on me. I started off as the project manager for ON1 Force in the beginning of 2022. I was friends with the founders before that, met them shortly after Mint, partied with them all the time, heard they were having kind of like some troubles. I offered to just help. Next thing I know, they asked me to be the project manager. ON1 Force was legitimately the first PFP project that I fell in love with the art. You know, I saw it was like the first high quality art project, PFP project, I think, in the space. And so I jumped at the opportunity. It was kind of like I thought I was offering to help somebody do like clean their yard or do like spring cleaning, and then like I show up at the house and like they open the door, the entire place is on fire, and they just like throw me the keys and they're like, okay, we'll see you like when we get back from vacation. So it was pretty nutty, to be honest. It was just for context for anybody who doesn't know the story. When I came on board, ON1 Force had just dropped from 7 ETH to 0.2 ETH within like a 1 to 2 month period. So you could imagine, and this is like Logan Paul spent $600K on his ONI, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, imagine that fast of a drop. It was one of the first, along with Pudgy's, they were the first two projects that were original blue chips in 2021 to actually fall, like where it was going to go to zero. Like we had a point where I came in, we had like 5 people in the Discord coming in a day, you know? And we're like, this is on life support. But luckily, the brand itself was super valuable. Like, no matter what FUD over the original founders existed, like, nobody ever faded the art. And so I think
that's strong.
Yeah, and I think people kept coming in because of that. So we kind of brought it back, found the new buyers, and had the acquisition happen last February. Stayed on as CEO. And yeah, ever since then, we've been able to do what we want, which is truly build a storytelling art, you know, community project.
Well,
I love it.
Well, you know, y'all are doing it right. Okay. Now listen, I have faith in it. I bought my first, I can't believe I didn't even mint these because I minted Pudgy's. I minted everything. I minted OCMs on my hot wallet. I don't care.
He was waiting for the right price.
No, but but like, you know, as much as I like anime and thought it was great, I just like some things I just didn't mint those. And then Sevens came out and I think I got some of those, but I'm like, why did I fade Oni? Because, anyway, the point is that y'all inscribed at 440K or whatever early. Yeah. I don't think I saw an announcement. You weren't like trying to come in then. Let's do a project. Let's save stuff. You're like taking your time. You know, you seem like a classy gentleman who's sophisticated.
I tried.
you know,
Act is working.
yeah, I saw you work in the
Just
corner in
Asian
San
DJ.
Francisco.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, what are you doing?
Come get Yoni.
me
Yoni.
that crap.
Oni,
NFT.
get your bony force. Oh,
man.
Jesus
Come on,
Christ.
man.
Hey, come on, how you doing?
Come on, man.
OnlyFans.
I'm gonna give you the worst memes.
gosh.
I'm gonna anyway. So no, but like you're
man.
doing it right. You're introducing yourself. You were in SF at the fucking Cypherpunks lab thing, and I was
Yes.
like, "This is great." Like I said, I saw you outside. I was like, "Dude, where's the liquor store?" And you were like, "I'm Henry, dude." It's. I said, "Oh, really?" And you're like, "I was like, Troy." Troy. He's like, "Yo, dude. Oh, you're Star-Lordy? I thought you were two different people." Anyway, so, but like you're doing it right, and you're not rushing to the red light.
No.
And I want to help you get to the red light safely as much as I can. I mean, I think we're already setting that in motion in a way. But what else do you have to say about it?
Well, I mean, dude, for me, Ordinals is obvious. Like, I discovered them probably when they were like around 50K or something like that. You know, early enough for where like nobody was pushing it, and it's either you believe in it or not. And so for me, it was like immediate. I was like, oh, like Bitcoin, God chain, like inscriptions on Bitcoin, it's permanent. Like I was like, this is what the art world needs. So the reason why we inscribed was just because like I think it's important when you're entering to like actually participate. But you're right, we didn't make a big announcement about it because especially at that time, it's like I took the standpoint of like, okay, it's time to like learn and reset and be humble and be quiet and just kind of see how people are moving and you know, kind of just observing and then kind of building up our work behind it. And then, yeah, when we sponsored the Inscribing Amsterdam dinner in September last year. And that's
Wait, you did that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That was also
I
very
I was there.
You
Oh,
weren't invited.
oh, cool. And that's our show. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm hungry. I'm
Sorry,
still,
buddy.
I'm
Sorry.
still hungry.
That was the real cabal
From
meeting.
that
You weren't
lack of
invited,
dinner.
buddy. Sorry about
Just slide my food through the door, turn off the lights. I'll be fine. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, so I got very lucky. I met Ordinally and Raph and Aaron and that whole crew. I met Casey in Singapore, and they were just so helpful, and they were giving me so many ideas on what to do. I think because, you know, especially for people who believe in Ordinals, like anybody, especially if you're an established project or from ETH or whatever, like if they can tell you actually are interested and you really care about the tech and the building and stuff, it's like people are so helpful, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they kind of became our advisors.
awesome.
And then, yeah, then when he said they were doing the dinner for Inscribing Amsterdam and they're looking for sponsors, I was like, we got you, bro. And but even that decision, like we didn't publicize it. We didn't do like PR around it or do like, oh, ON1 Force is going to be at Amsterdam. It's like, no, it was just literally, I just went in there just as another community member and got a chance to meet everybody. And that was the moment where I was like, oh, okay, these are people, like they're amazing people. That they were so kind, so welcoming. So yeah.
Are you naturally like shrewd about how you conduct yourself or comport yourself? Meaning like, you know, like, or when you like say, and also on that note, do you make sure that your collab team, the team under you, not to say under you, next to you, in front of you. I like to say that I don't work with you. I don't work for you. You work with, we work together. But
100%.
do you try to disseminate that kind of like, hey, be cool. Just be cool. Like just be cool and open up a two-way trust
Like
currency
you don't need
loop.
to be loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think especially because the reason why I got into NFTs was actually not because of the money, surprisingly enough. Although I do wish I participated more in the beginning when I should have. But it was more because of the way smart contracts work. It's literally when I discovered how a smart contract works, I was like, oh, like this will protect artists. Like this is the thing digital artists been waiting for. So that's what got me in this space. So I feel like, especially like we're building for the long term. Like we're going to build a multi-billion-dollar brand, which is for Web 2 and Web 3. So I'm very conscious about like how we move, like has all these ripple effects and stuff like that. And I feel like some people, they rush in too hard because they want the money, like the end result to be that. But for us, I think the end result should be brand and reputation, and therefore you got to be a little bit more patient.
And certainly, Chad, I'm sorry if I'm Mac trucking this whole thing, but
No.
but certainly the royalty situation that we used to have on ETH,
Yeah. did not get
That's
that.
not. You don't have that kind of padding. Like, oh my God, like we got to do we doing more collections, or do we do a token and Ponzi-nomics, or is there like retail, like say Pudgy style stuff, Walmart, TV show merch, franchise, and entertainment kind of stuff? I'm just curious, like you've got to think about brand in that way.
Yeah, I mean for ON1 Force in particular, because that's our baby. I kind of think of it like, is this a project I would shill to my mom or like my grandmother or something? Like if somebody else was shilling ON1 Force to my mom, would I punch him in the face, or I'd be like, yeah, if you got the ETH, if you got the ETH.
If you got the Grandma, are you the one?
Yeah.
Grandma, you made that art, the art that Troy was talking about. Did you make any ETH from that? Well, fuck it, never mind. That's not for you. Hey, hey, Grandpa, please. Yeah, so I don't know. You
Also, a quick shout out though to BitGod. He was actually literally one of the first people. He's probably in the first 3 people.
Dude, he just shouted
I
you out.
talked to. I know. I'm sitting right next to him.
Shouted out.
But
it's crazy.
Literally one of the first 3 people I probably talked to in the space of having more in-depth conversation about how ON1 Force could enter the market, or what the community is all about. And he definitely gave me a really great kind of breakdown and
Yeah, no, I mean, I wanted to get to that in a second. I think I was just gonna say, I think ON1 Force has really, in my opinion, done it right. I think unlike what some of them I think we saw last week from the Dead Fellas, I think that was a little bit sort of off, where it was like not respecting their old holders, and like it was no information. Like I talked to Starlordy back in and his team as well back in May or June of 2023.
Yep.
And I think my main thing was just be very intentional. And I think that's not only what I told him, but I think many others, and that are just one-off artists as well as collections. And I think the sort of collections that do that, I think are going to sort of make waves in the longer term. And I think that they've done that.
Yeah.
Right? By sponsoring those events, I think being in the community now for months and months and months. And I think that they should have great success. So I can't commend them enough.
Yeah, I didn't know
call
you.
your BlackRock friends. Call your BlackRock
call 'em.
friends.
Oh yeah. Oh, put
us on the list.
Yeah, she texted me today. She's like hungry. She's hungry.
Oh man.
And you know what? She's hungry. Yeah.
Well, listen, I think Starler, as you guys get ready for, of course, the mint, can you talk about some of the basics of the mint, or I know that maybe there's not any date yet, but can you talk about any of that?
I came prepared with new alpha for the show.
Oh, love shit.
I love it.
Like IRL is a good place to talk.
Ooh, alpha. Yeah.
Alpha,
So
baby.
we did decide on a mint day, which is most likely going to be March 12th.
Okay.
March 12th?
Yeah,
Front
so
run OMB, possibly Pi Day. Front run.
It's coming. Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to get in the way of OMB, first of all.
No.
Yeah. So it's either go a little before, or we'd have to wait, I think, a while after. Yep. But March 12th, and it's going to be 0.0098 for the allow list holders, 0.00777 for the ONI holders, existing holders from ETH, and then 0.016 for public if it gets to that.
But if you have an ONI on ETH and you have a whitelist already,
you'll get the cheaper price.
You get the cheaper price. So that's just for clarity.
Yeah.
That's why I bought one.
Yeah. Also, there is a benefit after mint. Shortly after mint, we're going to launch our storytelling campaign, which is like our AI storytelling platform. If you own both the ETH and the ordinal PFP, then you will get extra benefits in terms of points. Plus, we have kind of like a really special surprise twist that we're going to reveal to holders later. That you can only participate that if you have both of them. So,
okay.
Dang.
And what's your Web 2 plan? Because I don't think it's just an alpha group, right? Everybody has, right? Because there are some, I brought this up the other day, like some projects don't have story, and right now they couldn't care because the story is their involvement in a project that may have 5K, 10K assets, and they just like that culture. And if there's alpha in there, which there probably is, that they're enjoying that two-way street of economic, stacking and that cultural thing. But does a project need other types of story what's also your Web 2 plan?
I think our Web 2 and Web 3 plans are tied together, and I think it's going to be pretty fun how we do it. So post mint, like the story experience we start is like every holder will be able to develop their characters, whether it's ETH or an ordinal PFP. Now, what's going to happen is like our comic books this year are going to be launched in stores all over the world. So you'll you'll be able to buy an Oni Force comic right next to an X-Men or a Batman by like October maybe.
Oh shit!
Now, yeah, and so this is the alpha.
That's
is
crazy.
that
I gotta get my brother. My brother goes to. He's got so many Stan Lee signed.
dude,
CGC.
We're gonna do a full takeover.
He's a
We're
fucking.
gonna be everywhere in every comic book
shit.
store, every bookstore.
Hey Orhan, I hope you're listening. You fucking.
It's gonna be awesome.
I love my brother. He's cool.
That's funny. But the cool part, which I don't think anybody's done in this space other than Pudgy, but even the way we're doing is different. So similar to the way Pudgy let 14 of their holders license their PFPs back to Pudgy to be used in the toys that went on shelves, the culmination of our first story arc that people participate in is the top people and characters from that part of the campaign will actually get their characters developed into our comic books and canon, so you'll be able to see your characters, like the top on the leaderboard or wherever, your characters be able to be developed, and then you can get royalties from that and stuff.
Yep.
But so it's the first like kind of gamified story building event in Web3 where they'll actually get to see the results go translate into Web2. Oh yeah, sorry.
But no, I wanted to ask you, Starlody, honestly about like the business side of things. Like, what is, you know, like how hard is it or was it to get into, you know, doing this planning for the comic book stores? Like, what is that? Like, what is that like? Like, I think that's so cool.
Yeah, I learned a
distribution and all that
lot.
sort of
stuff.
So we got lucky. One of our partners is Josh Blaylock. He runs a publishing company called Devil's Due. They did like, back in the day, did like Transformers and G.I. Joe and Ninja Turtles. So they have a lot of experience with distributing like big IPs. So he kind of really showed the ropes and has the relationships for the distributors. But we brought on other advisors. We have the Uslan family, who they own the rights to the Batman film franchise. Like, the dad's a genius. Like, back when DC was struggling, he literally made a deal with DC to own the film rights to Batman. Then he went and turned around and produced the first Batman film with Tim Burton and Michael Keaton. And so they've been producers of every Batman film since then.
Oh, geez.
So because of that, he has like this crazy history where they got connections not just in comic books, but in film and TV and entertainment.
Oh my gosh.
So they're our advisors,
Yeah.
and they supercharge our distribution from being like mostly North America to like global. So now in
They got like
Europe
that-
or the Middle East, like you'll be able to pick up an Oni Force comic, and then on top of that, they have the connections that to help us develop the IP for film and TV as we're doing it. So
That's badass,
that's
dude.
pretty
so
cool.
badass.
That's a great. That's literally why we have those 360 deals, because
Yes.
it covers all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if Oni Force was doing poetry, like they want a piece of that.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Oni and Pudgy, like Pudgy Force, little fat little penguins, anime.
I love the Pudgy stuff, man.
Oh, dude.
I love that.
Oh
Chubby
man,
corns?
Pudgy,
Oh my God.
Pudgy Force. You say Pudgy porn?
No,
Listen,
chubby corn-
this is
Man,
a
come on, man.
family show.
No, I'm curious. You know, Starlody, what do you want sort of, you know, people to take away from? I think both the sort of NFTs on, or let's just say
either
digital
chain.
assets
Sure,
on
yeah,
both,
digital,
as well as the comics. Like,
Scrollingo.
what are you hoping? You know, maybe by the end of this year, when you guys are in a lot of comic stores, and of course you have minted. You know, what's the sort of takeaway?
I think our mission is to onboard as many Web 2 people into Web 3 as possible, right? Like that is still the mission. And so with the comic books, any kid or anybody who picks up a comic book will see an ad for a QR code to get a free digital collectible of this character that they just read. Yep. It'll be an NFT, you know, probably be on a layer 2. It's going to be free for them because the average comic book fan isn't going to spend thousands of dollars on a digital collectible. Right, but if you give them a free one and then they have a really cool experience, like they get to plug that character in and then develop it, as they go down the ecosystem and discover like, oh, actually, like I could play with this character, I earn points. These points turn into prizes and rewards, and but I have to have a wallet, you know. So it's like we'll start onboarding people in a more natural way. I think the big mistake with NFTs in the beginning was like pushing the tech too hard. You know, like nobody goes like shows you a website and like it's a JavaScript website that you must download because it's JavaScript.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
no
nobody
way,
fucking
right?
cares.
No one gives a shit, right?
Yeah.
No, I agree with that, man. I cannot agree more with you.
Do
I
you
cannot
feel?
agree.
Do you feel well? I mean, you did the dinner that I was not invited to. Let's go over that again.
I'm sorry, I didn't know you at that time.
But you feel welcome.
I did invite BitGod though.
Yeah, you got it. He's hard to miss. I was probably behind him. He was my shadow in the distance. Listen, do you feel welcomed and like patted with that sort of like, you know, that respect and kind of like open arms, like you were saying earlier? Do you feel that in the ecosystem?
I feel very safe.
And do you have in your
No fun.
and
Do
do
you
you
I feel
have
protected.
I imagine like holders. Do you have holders that are mixed in between like trading stuff on ETH and also Bitcoin?
You know what's funny about our holders is so what we did was in March last year when we inscribed the first 7, we told our holders because we're like pretty transparent about what we do. And at that time, remember, there's no volume.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about ordinals. If anybody is talking about ordinals, they're saying it's a fad or it's a joke or whatever. They're kind of making fun of the people trying to build on there. You know?
The word is funny.
Yeah.
It sounds like they should come up with a different word for vegan. Vegan is not an appetizing word.
Come on, man.
It just isn't. Ordinals is good, but like some people, it's
It's
a
not
new.
supposed to be appetizing. You can't eat anything when you're vegan. You know what I mean?
Bitcoin is eating the world. You
Yeah.
literally said that, baby.
Of course.
Ordinals, baby.
But I'm not a vegan. No.
But Bitcoin does sound cool though. But but I think like when we told them, nobody actually fudded us. It was actually kind of interesting. I was expecting more people to FUD us because they're like, oh, after the acquisition, this is your big announcement that you're gonna inscribe these like ordinals, and then now you're not gonna sell them or do anything. Yeah, it's like, but actually they were pretty open because I think we're honest about the art thesis, about the art living on chain. I think they got that part. They really support that, and so because they didn't FUD us, that actually gave us that support where it's like, okay, let's just go all in and quietly develop it. And then, like I said, meeting people in the space is actually a great way because, you know, if you're having these conversations for a year with them, by the time it comes time to launch the collection, it's like they know that we were not faking it the whole time. Yeah. So then when they go talk to their friends about it, they could actually be genuine about what they know, and it's like positive, you know?
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally,
you know, some people on the timeline, they're not being mean. A couple of people go, like, well, what happened to that person that used to do the threads? Are they part of the team? Okay. Or like, what are they doing? And I'm like, I think people just walked away news-wise and don't know when the former founder left and the new founder stepped in. Yep. But moving away from that, I think it should be very clear now, if you've seen the show, re-listen to the space. But,
But no, I was going to say, I mean, I think to you know, I think sort of enclose the ON1 Force conversation. One, if you're listening live on the video, make sure to follow Starlordy, which I believe is at Starlordy FTW. And
Good
then
memory.
if you're listening on this space right here as well, Twitter space live, make sure to follow Starlordy as well. But then lastly, we're gonna give away an ON1 Force Ordinal, right?
Go.
How are we
An
gonna do
ON1
that,
Force
right?
Ordinal?
How are we gonna do that?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna try
So
to talk.
I don't even know how we're going to do it, but we're going to, on this show, as a special thank you to you guys, frankly. I want to give more value to your listeners and your audience. So we're actually not just giving away a whitelist or a allow list. We're actually giving away a free ordinal, a free ON1 ordinal.
I'm going to leave this show right now. I want to get on the space. I want to try my luck at it. I'm trying to. Look at that.
So how should we do it? How should we do it?
I would say
Maybe let's have people retweet the space.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we'll just pick out of.
You got to
some
retweet
retweets.
and you got to comment. Ordinals are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Comment,
like that.
and then
I
we'll
like
choose
that.
it probably in the next couple hours or
Yes.
something. And,
Yeah.
I'll reach out or something like that.
Yeah,
We'll
and we're going to be carefully looking at like little characters that have been turned from an I to an L. So don't fuck around with us.
It is case sensitive. It is
Fucking
case sensitive.
throat chops.
So make sure to follow Starlordy, retweet this space, and make sure that you comment ordinals are fucking dead.
Fucking dead, grandma. Ordinals are dead,
All
grandma.
right. Well, I think that's sort of the
We're going. Some of us are going to ETH Denver
we're going to
tomorrow.
Denver.
He's going tonight. Don't track his wallet. But I also like, hey,
a little bit off there.
but really quick, Warhuddle, come here, say
Yeah,
hello.
Warhuddle's in here.
We got a
Let's
legend
go.
artist that's been sitting here.
Come in
And-
here.
Yeah, get in there. Sorry. Oh, yeah, get in here.
Yeah.
What's up, dude? We're going to end the show now, but I just want to say,
Yeah.
I wanted to say,
Ordinals are dead.
Ordinals are dead. You want to say ordinals are dead, bro?
It's called ON1 Force.
ON1 Force.